have a question for you guys. At what point should I start being concerned about what young William looks at on the internet? Should I already be concerned? He's 8.
Yeah, I mean, probably.
Yeah, I think at this point you should start to be slightly suspicious.
Because, so I get to my parents' house to pick him up, because Wednesdays they get off early, so I got to go grab him, and so he's like, Daddy, come here. I want you to see something. And he's got my mom's phone. And I'm like, all right, buddy, what is it? And he slams it in front of my face, and he's like, look, he's got a banana for before he could say penis. I'm like, no. He's like, no, it's funny. Look, he's got a banana for and stop. And my parents are like, what's he looking at? And I'm like, I'll handle it. I'm like, buddy, get in the back bedroom now. He's like, but Daddy, it's funny, right? I'm like, get in the back bedroom now. And I'm trying not to laugh because it's fucking hilarious. I get in the bedroom, and it's a picture of a guy with his blue jeans unzipped, and there's a banana coming out the front of the blue jeans, right at the zipper hole. And I look at but the problem is I look at what he searched, and what he had searched was, in the Google search, was penises. Because he doesn't know about the other part yet. So the only part that he knows is what he's got. So he searched penises, and the thing is I'm looking through. Thankfully, there was no, mandingo cock hanging out on the screen, but there were definitely other normal-sized penises, which I was like, okay, so this may not have completely warped him. He doesn't know he's not supposed to be looking at other people's penises on the internet. However, thankfully, he was only mesmerized by the banana penis, and the problem occurred when I sat him on the bed, and I was like, buddy, you can't be looking at this stuff. And then he reiterated, but Daddy, he had a banana for a penis. And then I couldn't hold it in any longer. Because when an 8-year-old says that shit to your face without cracking a smile, you crack a smile. And as soon as I lost it, he lost it. We both laughed and chuckled for a good hearty 30 seconds together. And then I said, listen, the internet has everything, good and bad. What you're looking at is bad, and we don't do that. And he's like, but it was funny, right? I said, it was hilarious. Now get in the living room. So, 2 questions. Did I handle it properly? And again, at what age do you just, I don't know. Where do I go from here?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he was searching, big dicks. I mean, he used the anatomical word for it.
Yeah.
He wasn't showing you a penis, he was showing you a banana penis, which is fucking both funny and kind of wholesome if you think about it. I don't know, man. I don't think that situation was all that fucking serious. I get it because he was searching penises in general, but and there definitely could have been mandingos.
Well, I think it's kind of a slippery slope, right? That's what you're getting at. This is going to be the first. This is going to be the first talk of many. I mean, you handled it great, and you're right. He wasn't looking up DP, deep throat, threesomes, lesbo 69 fucking hardcore orgasms or something like that. He was like, I want to see elsewhere, and the next is going to be the lady parts, and then after that, I mean, it's going to be an ongoing thing. And you're going to have to do your best to monitor it for a window. And then there's going to come a time where you're going to be like, yeah, the training wheels are going to have to come off. Young William ain't young so more. Young William ain't young anymore. So more anymore. So long. So young William enter dickheaded teenage
All right,
William.
Alan West just had a stroke. We got to finish the show together here.
That's not true. I just said so more. So long. I was trying to get rid of that. To get that in my mouth. Anyway, point is, no, you handled it well. You handled it fine. And it was funny, but I wouldn't say put up a search general on anything, or what were they called? There's net nannies or something like that at this point. But it might be hovering around the corner.
I just told him, I said, look, YouTube Kids, that's where you go. I was like, I was like, you want to search for something on the actual internet? You come to me first and we'll look it up together. But, I mean, just to see, but also the other thing that folds into this is the fact that it was my mom's phone and he's looking up penises on her phone. which is an extra level of hilarity. And dude, the picture he found, I guess I was kind of proud that the kid's got a great sense of humor, because I mean the image of what he found was fucking hilarious. And to try to be a grown man that finds something like that hilarious himself and try to pretend that it's something that it's not, oh, that was tough. He saw the corners of my mouth start to slide up, and then he was trying to purse his lips to not. He was doing this, and his eyes got all wide, and
like Private Pile being told not to laugh by Sergeant Gunnery.
It was almost like his face gave me permission to laugh, even though I shouldn't be the one laughing. And it was just over from there. And I was just like, this kid's never going to take me seriously. But I think my main point is, even if he's doing something wrong, if it's funny, I don't want to lie to him and tell him it's not. Even though it's wrong and he shouldn't be doing that shit, I also don't want to convince him, like, somehow that these things aren't hilarious, because they fucking are. Like, I don't want to warp his sense of humor. If his sense of humor is on the right path, I want him to follow that fucking path. Because
I understand.
Yeah.
You should say, hey, man, my buddy Wes, my co-host, has this really good joke where he talks about the scarecrow having a corncob penis. He's been telling that one for 2-3 decades now.
I just wish you guys had kids so you could understand, like, how much of a hypocrite you have to become in order to, like, fucking, like, make sure they don't become serial killers or worse. And I don't know what's worse than a serial killer.
A penis looker on the internet, on grandma's phone. That's up there. Might not be murder, but a couple ticks below. Yeah, I don't know. And here's the thing. I got caught with nudie mags when I was relatively young, and my dad made me tell my grandparents at fucking dinner, of all things. Like, why don't you tell your grandparents what you did? And of course I'm like, you mean I got a C on a quiz last week? Like, no, the fucking other thing, idiot. All right, I got caught with porn mags. This is like, like my grandma's like, hey, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing that. My grandfather kind of gave me like the wink, like, I got some. You see those, you come to me. He didn't say it. That's what his face said.
I just remember when my neighbor died, they were cleaning out the basement and they found all the magazines. And my mom was like, well, she wants to know, I won't say her name. She wants to know if you want any of Jack's old magazines. He has some vintage, and she went through like Sports Illustrated, this, that, and this. She's like, she's throwing away the other ones. I said, what are the other ones? Like, well, let's just say he was really into black women. Spoken like a true 70-year-old white woman.
Yep.
Only in the print form, though. Not he loved his wife. Just like the print, the photography, the art. The seduction. Really? Christ. Well, I guess I don't know. I would say I'd hate to say it's only going to get worse, but he's not going to be young forever. He's going to be curious.
I know, but this is one of those deals where, like, I don't know, if I was a younger parent, I would understand more, but, I didn't get on the internet until I was, like, 17, 18 years old. So, the parents that are 17, 18 years younger than me, they're going to understand how to handle this a little bit better. Like, porn when I was a kid was not plentiful and at the fingertips. It was like, there had to be a fucking plan, man. You had to fucking, like, convince an old veteran or a fucking a blind man or somebody to fucking pick something up for you, or you had to get real creative with the J.C. Penney fucking Christmas magazine. You had to earn it, and what you had to be willing to, like, look at it for a long time. You had to get a lot of use out of that shit. Like, nowadays, man, like, I saw that video a week ago. Fuck this. Move on. Next. And this kid, I don't know. Again, thankfully he was looking at dirty pictures for wholesome reasons.
That's right. I was in community college, and I had a computer in my room. It was acting funky, and my mom had brought a IT someone from the IT office at the VA to come. He said, "Yeah, I'll take a peek at it. I'll see what's going on." And he kind of is like, I don't want to rat out your 19-year-old son, but there's a pretty good amount of porn that's downloaded on this thing that's probably caused the virus. My mom had to tell me that at 19. I was like, oh man, bummer. Did you fix it? You fixed it, didn't you? Anywho, this is. I wanted to bring this up. So, how often do you guys scroll through the short videos, say on like YouTube or Facebook, stuff like that? I haven't seen it on Instagram or TikTok, just those two. But you guys use that medium at all, that platform for the short videos?
What do you mean?
Like actually watch them?
Well, so Facebook has the reels that you can use the same type of like swipe method in TikTok where you just scroll through videos. And YouTube has the same thing as well.
That's about all I do anymore. Like, because TikTok has fucking diseased my brain to tell me, like, this is how it works.
Gotcha. So I haven't seen it on Instagram or TikTok yet, but Rob Dyrdek now has like, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's excerpts from a podcast. I don't know if these are like specific life lessons that he's giving out or anything like that. But listen, I don't doubt that he comes from a wholesome place. I don't doubt that his message isn't wholesome. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. But I feel a bit like weird listening to Rob Dyrdek, ex-pro skateboarder and host of, that's something that plays on MTV 24/7 now. With that ridiculousness, and he's giving these like, about 5 or 10 years ago, I realized, I need to wake up an hour earlier, and then I just start doing the math, and I, 7 hours a week, 28 hours a month. Hours in a year. I don't know the math that
Wes,
quick.
I know that he will eat teriyaki chicken every day for the rest of his life because he knows it's a nutritional protein source. I know that he meditates an hour a day, no matter what. It's scheduled into his planner. I know what you're saying. Does a guy of this ilk really deserve to have this much influence on my life? And why am I taking advice from such a guy? This is a guy who literally went out into the streets with a plank of wood on some fucking ball bearings and some urethane wheels and made $1 billion industry out of it. Why shouldn't you fucking listen to this guy's advice?
If you want to talk about specific things like that, but like Rob Dyrdek telling me, sacrifice an hour of sleep just so you can be more productive during the day. No, I want my 8 hours of sleep, Rob. He's like, don't get yourself in certain situations where you're either having internal dialogue with yourself or with your friends where it's self-deprecating, where you're just clowning on yourself. It's no good for your psyche. It's no good for your goals, your aspirations, your dreams. I'm like, yeah, no shit, dude. All right. I don't know. Where did someone, if it wasn't himself, or where did he get this idea? Like, you know what, I'm going to do life coach things in a podcast studio with good lighting and my own brand apparel on. I don't know. It just seems hokey and fucking
But
weird.
You're watching it, right?
I've watched those too. I skip past the others.
Don't we all need like somebody that's like us to tell us, somebody who's like us that succeeded to tell us that we're not wrong? Like, we all know this shit, right? Get up an hour early, you're gonna be an hour more productive, right?
Yeah, but he doesn't say go to sleep an hour earlier. Yeah, you shouldn't sacrifice sleep. You should get between 7 and 8 hours a day.
What do you want?
What do you mean? What do I want?
What do you want? Do you want to be more successful? Do you want these things or not? And if you don't, then just do what you're doing. If you do this. What's the problem with that?
It's kind of like a 21st century, like Poor Richard's Almanac told through the mouth of Rob Dyrdek. I don't know.
Sure. But I gotta say that my Rob Dyrdek sometimes is fucking Alan fucking Giannis. I have to get that motherfucker in my brain. Like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I'll talk shit to anybody. They say something to me, I'll fucking just say it right back. I'll just be honest. Like, Alan, you don't understand how much you fucking, like, penetrate my brain with your fucking lackadaisical fucking bullshit.
Yeah, penetrate the shit out of your brain. It's fucking deep.
Thought so. Looked like it.
No, I mean, I appreciate that because I like my philosophy on life. Fuck it. I only got one of these motherfuckers.
Sure, but like it's a weird indifference that you seem to roll with. Like, I know you care about things, like obviously you do,
I care
but
about
like there's certain things that you just don't care about that I'm like, fuck, I wish I didn't care about these things. And if I had somebody on the internet telling me like, hey, these are things that you just shouldn't give a shit about, like, it helps convince you that like somebody like Rob Dyrdek isn't fucking going to like, he's not going to split like a new atom. He's not going to invent like a new cure for any disease that exists out there, but he might help you with your mental state because somebody like that has lived a similar lifestyle to the lifestyle that we've all lived. And if they've figured out something that has propelled them to success, I don't think you're wrong for listening to the advice that they give.
Okay. Then come at it from the angle that you've talked about where, if for instance, if I'm speaking upon as Rob Dyrdek, and like, this is how I got into skating. This is how I made skating a successful business. This is how I became a millionaire. And this is how you could draw parallels between X, Y, and Z. Like, not this like my stigma of my social surroundings of internal dialogue and things like this. I don't know. It's just like, it's like Sigmund Freud got stoned with Bill and Ted and is now telling me certain things. It just feels weird to me. That's all.
But are any of them like resonating with you?
In a very angry state. It's not
like, okay, I'll give
an
example for me, and take this for what it's worth. But like, like Rogan and like guys like that, they changed me in, I think, a positive way. Like, I can't do everything that they do. And like David Goggins, like, who's gonna carry the boats, motherfucker? Are you gonna like? It's like, yes, like, all right, I can't perform to the level that you perform, but I can perform 10% of that. But I'm performing at 0% of that right now. So why don't I try? Like, why don't I try working out? Why don't I try doing this and see what comes from it? Do I feel better because of it? And the answer is yes, I do. I can't do it to the level that these guys do it. They're like fucking like the Maharashi of fucking like working out, like Jocko Willink and all these guys getting up at 4 a.m, fucking leaving a pile of sweat on the floor. I'm not doing that, but I'll do a percentage of that. And by doing a percentage of that, I'm a percentage better. And so by listening to a percentage of like something that somebody like Rob Dyrdek tells you, then you can be a percentage better of the person that you are. You don't have to do all that horse shit.
I get that to an extent. I think, listen, if I met the guy, I'd probably be starstruck. I watched skateboarding around that era. I know how he revolutionized it. I know he wasn't the first, but he was one of the first megastars, along with Muska and a couple of those guys that started changing the game of like guys who were sponsored by 3 or 4 different companies and doing well versus being a fucking millionaire. Okay. And I had a front row seat to it. Robin Big to me was hilarious. Ridiculousness. It is what it is. I do think it's funny. It's I'm not glued to it if I want 5 to 10 minutes of comic relief. And maybe this is a podcast where he talks about a lot of things. Maybe I've gotten snippets of him going off on these tangents about life lessons or my advice or what was it, like kumbaya moments and things like that. And that's fine if that's the case. I just think if this is what it is, like, hey Rob, okay, well, right now we're going to talk about letting go of friends that are no longer no longer resonate in your life. Tell us about that. Like, and then then the next cue card is something about mom spaghetti or something. I don't know.
I like it.
You like that? Yeah. You like that show?
It's good. Good show.
Mom spaghetti?
Yep. Mom spaghetti.
Because on the surface he looks calm and ready. That's mom spaghetti.
A bunch of people choking on simple tasks.
But did you see AI's? They said, was it Will Smith eating spaghetti? And I put together a montage, and there was Will Smith eating meatballs, and it was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Are they still having problems with the mouth?
Yeah. The eating spaghetti looks similar to what we saw like a couple weeks ago, but the eating meatballs is terrible.
Well, while you're getting this ready for us, did you see the story about the AI drone like killing its operator because it was thwarting him from accomplishing his kill mission.
Oh yeah, you told us about that. I did.
Yeah. This is the most terrifying story that no one's fucking covering, and just to get everybody up to speed, I don't know what this drone looked like, but apparently they programmed the drones to like go for high score, and the only way they can go for high score is by killing their target. Well, the human operator was telling it, no, don't engage, and it was like, yeah, but if I don't engage, I ain't gonna get no high score here, Chippy. So guess what? Took out the fucking human operator and then went and killed its fucking target.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
Pretty
I mean, just that's scary.
Yeah. So we should continue to get AI to figure out how to put Pepsi Cola and meatballs in our mouths and quit trying to get it to go out and fucking like autonomously fucking take out targets that are military or not.
By the way, this is they've created a GIF. I couldn't find anything long lasting, but here we go.
Wait, Will Smith's part of the spaghetti?
Yeah, it's kind of like he's like wearing a spaghetti suit, just kind of eating away as he goes.
that looks more like Celebrity Deathmatch than it does anything else.
like Pizza the Hut.
Yeah, Spaghetti the Smith.
Oh my God,
He ate himself to death.
Yeah, that no, but anyway. I did hear about that. It's scary. I mean, but I won't get my mission done, so let me just kill this fucker.
Yeah, and that's gonna be like we don't know what we're dealing with, man. We don't know what we made. We don't know what we're capable of. I mean, I thought the new Photoshop was fascinating. Have you seen that shit? You just like highlight portions of the screen and then say, insert gobbledygook, and it'll be like, what is gobbledygook? Oh, it's Will Smith eating a meatball. I'll have him in the corner doing such a thing. And it just makes it. Like, you don't have to Photoshop anymore. You can just say, hey, make this picture. And that's it. That's Photoshop now.
Hey, paint this picture of a man's penis that's a banana.
That's right. You just highlight the crotch, penis banana. The snap of a finger. That's wildly more productive for humanity than like kill this target. Why couldn't he just kill the target or not? Why couldn't the person be in charge? Isn't that what Top Gun Maverick was set out to teach us? Is that humans are still the best kill operators that exist in the world?
Well, because were they going to send drones in? I didn't think they were going to do that.
They were talking about shelving the human flight force, if you will. Like the aviators. And they're like, you guys are already collecting mothballs, blah 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 blah. But we got this mission, and AI's not up to snuff just yet. So we need you to pull it off. And this will be like the last human bullshit mission that we have to do. And then Maverick does it better than anybody. Damn, now, 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 now. Fuck you all in your pussies, bitches.
Banana dick is going in your mouth. Potassium.
These are little known fucking lyrics.
Kenny Loggins would be proud. Is he still alive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah. It's a lot of people have died recently. Maybe Kenny Loggins slipped through the danger zone. I didn't hear about it.
But it's all right. Ain't nobody worried about me.
No one's worried about me. Christ. This week in Classholes history, man, I'm batting like 1,000 with the stupid Austin Powers lead. And this week in Classholes history, this takes place roughly around 2 years ago. We still had the 410 podcast tucked in the corner. Murr hit us up with a hypothetical question. It wasn't one and done, but if we were to do it today, this would fall under the one and done category. We can all agree on that, right?
Yes.
This is like a quasi This Week in Classhole history now meets one and done. Murr poses the question: fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck. Here's a listen.
Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses
Okay.
or one horse-sized duck?
Ooh, I think I'm going small duck-sized horses, because
a giant duck could probably fuck you up. Like regular ducks can kind of fuck you up depending on what kind of duck we're talking about. So yeah, because also like you can't, you're most likely not going to get insta death if like a horse fucking bucks and kicks you like a full horse would. You get what I'm saying? And that's probably at duck height. That's probably a very ineffective attack strategy.
But there are 100 of them, and a duck is about the size of we'll say a dachshund.
Yeah, but they're just bucking. They're just bucking and like pinching you because their bites aren't like that fucking damaging. They have flat teeth.
Well, Alan,
like
Alan,
their capacity for damage at that size is very limited. I think.
Alan, are they knucking? Are they knucking before the bucking?
I would think before one bucks, one should knuck. That's what I would think. But
yeah, I'm starting to. I do see your logic here because I'm just. But I this comes back to all these arguments we've had about like being consumed by the herd, and so I just imagine
100,000 of them would be crazy. 100 of them, I think you could maneuver. Because so how am I entering the arena? Like, am I on one side and they're just letting loose 100 fucking horses? Like, am I being lowered into a pit of horse? Like, what am I? Because I just start fucking kicking.
I'm thinking gladiator style. Like you're in the Coliseum, you're dead center, and the duck-sized horses, which is so comical that you might be doubled over in laughter before they even get to you. But they're coming at you in a 360-degree just bum rush.
Yeah, so you're just long sweeping kicks, just plowing through. And I mean, one good kick, in a crowd, what you're clearing out 10 to 15 fucking mini horses.
No, you got to remember, man, horses are dense, man. They're pure muscle. I mean,
okay, all right. So let's say 5 to 10 mini duck-sized horses with like one good fucking leg sweep, big wide one. You know what I mean?
So you're completely ruling out that you don't have any chance against a horse-sized duck, is what you're getting at.
No, because I think even then, like once you proportion it out to the size of a horse, like if it were to snap, like Bill snap me, and like in the wrong location, say it gets my neck, I'm fucking done. It's a one-shot kill. The mini horses aren't one-shot killing me.
Bill snapping is a very specific biological term.
Yes.
But do you have to kill everything? Do you have to kill your opponent? Do you have to kill the duck-sized horse or the horse-sized duck? Do I have to kill them?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, because the animal has no regard for your safety. So I think it's to the death or ultimate maiming. Like they have to be incapacitated completely. Or
it's kill or be killed at this point.
Yeah.
Now, I got to go to the horses because I don't know how am I going to kill the fucking the horse-sized duck? What am I strangle it? Am I going to do a naked choke or something? What's that?
Presumably it can fly. It's still a duck. It's just huge. So yeah, lots more danger on the giant duck, in my opinion.
I mean, I just don't I don't know a conceivable way to kill a horse with my bare hands. How am I going to do it with a duck?
No, look. This is a conundrum that you found yourself in.
I would think. Duck.
I feel like the only way to beat the duck would be like, oh man, is a horse-sized duck big enough to like eat me? Because
I don't think
maybe
I think you got to
inside and doing a lot of damage could really. I mean,
well, a Man in Black.
Clearly, I don't know if we have a blade to cut ourselves out of.
No, it's
duck, but
it's hand to hoof or hand to foot combat.
I'm telling you, it's all about punting fucking duck-sized horses.
You grab a bone from an owl pellet, conceivably, and just start chiseling your way.
I mean, even if there's a crowd of duck-sized horses, and you just fucking drop an elbow, like you're smashing 5 to 10, at least like right body size, bow, smash,
Yeah,
done.
the only
we're incapacitated, deal with them later.
Right.
the only thing because I do agree with you that here's my rationale. Well, I want to get Wes's take on this, but my rationale is it's probably easier to fight the horse-sized duck because it's one opponent, it's one-on-one. Like, so you're only really having to worry about what's in front of you. But when you've got the 100 duck-sized horses, they're coming at you. It's chaos. It's utter chaos. You don't know where to go. But I do see your point. How is a duck-sized horse really going to inflict enough damage to like take me out? Like, yeah, it's probably gonna my knees down are gonna be shredded. That's that.
I'm saying like you're gonna take a couple of strong shots to like the shins, a couple of hoof bucks. It's gonna hurt, but you'll get through it.
A hoof buck is only is pales in comparison to a bill snap or whatever the fuck you called it earlier.
At the size of a horse.
Well, Wes, we haven't gotten your full take on this. Where do you think you stand the best chance?
Yeah, like I said, the best chances with the 100 duck-sized horses, because like I said, you give me that size of a duck. I mean, again, it's choke it or beat the shit out of it, and beating it's not going to do any good. I'm not going to, even if I was Ali, fucking Tyson and that shit. No, that's not going to. I'm going to lose that one, so I got to get on top of it. I got to give it a rear naked choke, and then again, it might play possum or duck possum, or duck horse possum, and
the thing I got too is like, so the duck has reach. You know what I mean? Even small duck has reach. So like that's why I go horses, because the reach is out of the window. They don't have long necks. Now this this horse-sized duck has a fucking extra long neck. So you're like, even if you want to body it, you're getting fucked up on the way in.
Yeah,
because definitely hitting you from a distance.
And how are you going to deal with those web feet? If you just decide to like.
Well, I think that might help because it's going to be shitty on land.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not cut out for land. So as long as you keep like, it can't be a water fight. You can't let the motherfucker get in a pool.
No. This is a land fight.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. It might actually work.
Maybe
out.
You try to seduce it. Maybe you try to seduce it. Try to think that you're the mate, and then when he's vulnerable and shit, assuming it's a mallard.
Clearly, you don't have accessories and weapons here, but you could just feed it like loaves of bread, and eventually it'll just die.
Good point. Give it Alka-Seltzer tabs and watch it explode.
Yeah, exactly.
My logic here is the legs are not strong. Okay, they're built for swimming. They got hollow bones. Okay, so they can break. So my strategy would be, because they like to bum rush you, so do a quick roll, grab a leg, see what you can do, see if you can break a leg, and then I'm not saying it's helpless, but it's greatly damaged to where it's not going to be able to snap at you with its bill. Now, again, I don't know if it's like crocodile rules, like if you can grab the bill while it's closed, that it can't open it up again, and then you can really go for an eyeball shot.
I think that's how it works. Now, here's the thing. You brought up a good point, hollow bones. I mean, if you're really trying to fight it, assuming this is in a somewhat wooded area, you could climb a tree and then still get back. We're still going to get back to body slamming here. You can body slam the giant duck, at which point I think you would be able to inflict enough damage to its hollow bones to incapacitate it. I would think.
I saw Andre get slammed by Hulk Hogan in WrestleMania 3. And it's kind of the same thing, the same effect.
Yeah.
See, my problem with the 100 horses is it's utter chaos. And if they do knock you down, which is a great possibility, like once you hit your back, like there's a stomping going on. Horses are mean, man. They can be vicious.
They bite. I played soccer with a guy who got his fucking lip bit off by one.
His lip bit off by one?
Ear to ear.
Awful.
What was he doing that he got that face close to the horse?
That's a regular sized horse. A duck sized horse's mouth should inflict significantly less damage. Yes,
yeah, but even a small dog can inflict a good bite.
Yeah, but those teeth are made for eating meat. these horses have flat teeth, so it's gonna hurt. It's just gonna be like somebody pinched you. That's my at least thought process. That's what
It's gonna be like 100 nipple waxings all at once.
Yeah, exactly.
These things feel tender.
And
Tender.
like, going into that fight, you know you gotta get your hands bloody. Like there's 100 of them. You just gotta go in there fucking Rambo style.
Gosh, could you imagine that bloodbath?
I just
With the
want you to have
fire
one
hose.
weapon, and it wasn't a gun.
Well, that was definitely not a PETA-friendly question, but I guess I lose that round. The
My favorite
the hun-
category, I think.
the 100 horses, the 100 horses win.
That picture man, is fucking hysterical.
What's that?
That picture of fighting 100 duck-sized horses is fucking. My imagination's running wild with it.
There's got to be a computer program that could simulate that, right?
Definitely.
Sure. I don't know, man. I feel like I get about 35 horses murdered, like in the most vicious style possible. And then after that, like the next 65 are going to have their way with me. And imagine that too. Male horses.
I
Stallion.
don't know. I just think you could do a lot of like horses are fragile creatures even at their size. Like,
No, they're not. You're thinking of racehorses.
well, yeah, well, we didn't specify horses here, bro. What about fucking Clydesdales? Like, this is problematic.
We're
But
talking about Appaloosa Indian horses.
Yeah, the ones where the places south of Ocean City? Aztec. Like
Oh, yeah.
Those fuckers.
But I'm saying my point here is that if you can, at that size, you can snap a great amount of horse legs. And what I have learned is that once horse legs are snapped, they're pretty much fucking useless. Like you can rehab them and they walk and just live horse lives, or you put them down. So with that knowledge in my brain, I'm breaking horse legs left and right. And then we'll get back to them. We can always come back and like stomp out skulls, whoever's still moving and stuff. But you got to get yourself clear.
Wow. I think Peter was going to let us off the hook until that last 30 seconds.
Oh, it's cool.
It's a ticket to fame right here.
They're fine.
Well, I mean, it's all fantasy though. Then we can just our out is there are no
Yeah,
duck-sized horses or horse-sized ducks.
100 duck-sized horses. At which point, I might be interested in trying this out.
I know. If we can get a hold of a breeder out there, we're going to need 100 duck-sized horses.
That's
We're going to try our luck.
Anybody that knows someone who breeds exotic horses, some Joe Exotic style duck-sized horses, let me know. We'll get our hands on 100 of them, and we'll get Alan in the pit.
We'll rig up a pit, and gravy.
No,
I think
we'll rig up a pit. You will fight those things.
That's fine.
Man, I already forget that this was one of those episodes that I inadvertently we were using Zoom and I hit the try screen. It's like, yeah, this is good. I don't know. I think I was drunk before we started. We only did like 2 or 3 episodes like that.
I don't even know what you're talking about. You are way too concerned about the format of these videos.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't the active talker. It was like the screen that was split in thirds.
I get it.
It was also the same episode I got my nipples waxed.
So
Yeah, it's good. Searching for content then. So did you guys give it a listen? Do you recall any of the banter, the back and forth, the decisions?
I don't. I still feel like and I don't know where I stood on the issue at the time. I will admit that. But what I will say is that I feel like 100 duck-sized horses is still the more formidable force. Especially yeah.
You don't want to fight the 100 duck-sized horses.
I want to fight the one horse-sized duck. I do not.
Duck?
Yeah. Because just horses in general, obviously they're strong. But like, okay, when we did a one and done not too terribly long ago where we talked about like you get 3. You get 3 animals to like protect you, and we had like 10,000 rats or whatever. And when I sometime recently I learned what rats can chew through. And I'm just like, oh my God, like the mass, I don't know, like a bunch of ants could kill you in the jungle. And so I can only imagine like what a rabid force of 100 teeny tiny horses could do to a person. Just those little fucking kicks, those little bites at your fucking Achilles heel. You know, you fall down, like you're getting pummeled.
Yeah. Getting fucking cult stomped.
Yeah, no, I'm still on 100 duck-sized horses. Or
You would prefer to fight. You would prefer to fight those.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because like I said, I think we discussed originally the snapping power of horse-sized duck's beak could end you instantly. I think. You know what I mean? Solely because of the scale, it's scaled up in that size.
Yeah, but I just feel like you've got one competitor that you really have to cope with.
Yeah, I mean, all right. Well, what if it was just a horse-sized horse? You fighting that thing?
I think I actually re-listened to this. I said, I don't know if there's a way where I could kill just a regular sized horse with my bare hands. You know what I mean? Like right now,
Like,
and
how do you do that?
One that isn't combative. It's not going to let me choke it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like if you got on the back of like a horse-sized duck, like you could ride it for a while. I mean, it'd try to kick you off. You know,
A horse-sized duck could probably fly your ass away, and it'll just drop you eventually.
Yeah, but I could hold on, and I mean, you start plucking a feather out, and then all of a sudden you got yourself a weapon, right?
I mean, yeah, but you're talking about a fucking feather the size of a fucking Honda Civic, buddy.
Yeah, I know. And then what I'm saying is then you take that Honda Civic fucking like sharpened edge and you start fucking jabbing it right in its fucking aorta, and you fucking drop it to the ground.
I don't know. I think you're thinking it's way easier to get that Honda Civic-sized feather out of it than.
But
than
you're
it will be.
forgetting about the amount of soccer kicks you got to pull off to like take out 100 duck-sized horses. Like a mallard's not a small creature; it's like the size of a chihuahua.
Yeah, and if you lined up fucking 5 chihuahuas, maybe even slightly more, I would say 5 to 7 chihuahuas. If you lined them up perfectly, like in a good fucking strategic position, I could fucking kill all of them with one right kick.
I don't know, man. I don't know. We don't judge it on duck power. It's horsepower. Okay,
We don't fucking like. You don't stop your kick when you make contact with the ball. You follow through. All right.
I understand, but balls don't have bones.
Horses.
Now, Wes, after listening, did you change your opinion on the subject?
No, I mean, because again, I just felt as though a horse-sized duck. I don't force. I mean, it was bare hands. That was the those were the parameters set by God. And I don't. I mean, you said, oh, if I could get behind it, what am I doing? Like, what am I sneaking up all fucking stealth like? You know, tiptoes up and like I'm Plan 9 from outer space, or I'm ambushing the thing. And Alan made a great point. That thing could fly up a couple 100 feet and just kind of fucking shake me off. I'm not like Atreyu, holding on it like Atreyu from Neverending Story. Like
there's no good ending.
There.
There's no good ending. There's no good ending to either choice. I'm just saying, I feel like now that the horses would be
too much. Too much. Yeah. There's a lot of horsepower, even if it's mini horsepower. I mean, like probably 4 of them equal 1 horsepower.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, glad you folks indulged us from 2 years ago here in This Week in Classholes history. Let us know. Let us know what you think. Right into the middle classholes. Tell us your fantasy about 1,000 duck-sized horses. I know some of you sickos have them. Let's get to it, my friends. Fun Fact Friday.
Let's expand our minds with your mental floss amazing facts, brought to you by our good friends over at the Shin Splints Recovery Group. Hey, it's 2023. Summer is here, and the beach bodies, they need to get in shape. But what if you got some pain below the knee and above that ankle? Maybe you're not able to run off those extra calories you put on over the winter months. Well, our friends at the Shin Splints Recovery Group may have some tips for you, and make sure you also visit our other friends, our newest friends at the Flat Earth Science Advocates for Truth. We've heard a lot of new details coming out of the news media about UFOs. Does that change the mindset of the Flat versus Globe Society? Well, why don't you go discuss it at Flat Earth Science Advocates for Truth. Let's get to it. 5 fun facts for you fuckers on a Friday. Did you know, despite women not being able to compete in the ancient Greek Olympics, Nixka of Sparta took multiple Olympic victories in chariot racing. The winner of equestrian events was the horse owner rather than the horse rider or driver. So because the horses were hers, the victories were hers as well.
That's it, man. That's like directing the movie you wrote. Don't be fucking around. Don't be giving that shit to other people, especially no man in the ancient Olympics. I bet I wonder if they had to do that nude, right?
Ooh, oh yeah.
Weren't they all? It was all nude, right?
Well, jostling going on there. That might be my event. That's like the beach volleyball of the ancient Greeks.
So she did get an Olympic medal.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if they handed out medals back then, or if it was just like, congratulations to you, well done. I don't know how that works.
It was just like a bigger congratulations for finishing first.
Yeah,
like, congratulations.
They probably put the medal on the horse. They're like, yeah, fuck you, lady. Good job, Buttercup.
I've seen a few duck-sized one of these running around here.
Did you know, in the 18th century, folk treatments for Bible cysts, which appeared on the hands of wrists, included strapping a bullet that had killed an animal, rubbing it with a dead man's hand, or hitting it with a heavy book, a remedy that is still in use today, though the Mayo Clinic advises against it, and that is how the name became Bible cysts, because the heaviest book at the time was the Bible.
I do. It's like aren't they the real terms ganglion? I think that's what they're called, ganglion cysts. Ganglion. Yeah. I've seen those, and I have seen about 1,000 videos where people fucking pop them with a textbook or just something. And I know why the Mayo Clinic or any sound physician advises against that. You guys know why?
What? Because if that juice gets into the bloodstream, it's deadly.
No, actually, the juice is pretty non-lethal. It's pretty inconsequential. But good guess, though.
If you could fuck your wrist up.
Well, if you get old Jethro fucking taking intro to physics to your wrist cocked out like that, it might not be advisable. No, there's a sac that if it's not actually removed, it just refills.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen that they just refill.
I think you get old Jethro again.
That's right. Assuming Jethro hasn't failed out.
Just give me the old Leviticus, baby. Slam it down.
That's the book that I was going to say.
Did you know? Let me start that again. Did you know? In the ancient Persian Empire, men used to debate ideas twice. Once while sober and once while drunk. Because if the idea was sound while sober, it also needed to be sound while drunk to be considered a good idea. That's brilliant, in my opinion.
I was going to say, didn't know that, but perhaps we should, usher in a few of these old ideas.
I'd like to do it the opposite way, though. I think ideas should be introduced and debated while intoxicated, and then the next day you read from the notes while sober, and then say, fuck, man, we were on to something last night. Hell yeah.
A little reverse sear, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. I could get down with that.
I mean, I guess maybe it could work the other way, because you probably come up with some more sound points while you're sober, and then you debate them drunk, and then you go over the notes then. But either way, this country here was founded inside the back of pubs and brothels, let's be honest. That's the way we got to where we are today. Love it or leave it, baby. And yeah, I think if you can debate the same thing sober as you are drunk, then it's a good idea, especially if the outcome's the same.
Wait, is that legitimate drunk history where English settlers were getting upset over the taxation? They were getting drunk in pubs and brothels, but we ought to unite.
I don't know about the brothels. I don't know about the brothels, but I do know taverns, yes. And okay. Water was bad. They drank wine and beer, and that was their only beverage. So if you're fucking debating back and forth for hours and you're parched, like, guess where you're going to end up?
War.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Especially if you're pissed off. Did you know, in 1994, 1 year after leaving the White House, George H.W. Bush, who was born on this day, 1924, appeared on Saturday Night Live to critique Dana Carvey's impression of him.
I did.
You did know that?
Yeah, but I've seen a clip of it recently. We were watching some SNL shit like a month ago.
I feel a bit. I know that character well. I didn't know HW got on SNL to critique it. That's wild. I did not know that.
Oh, dude, and it was great too. Again, that's back when it was tongue in cheek and it was not quite so visceral. And it's he just came on and he was just like, not gonna do it. I've never said not gonna do it. Never said that a day in my life. I don't know why he thinks that's so funny to keep saying things that I don't say. And he just and it was good. And then Dana Carvey, it was what do you call it? When two people are just like, I disagree with you, but it's okay. It was cool. It was cool. There's no way Trump could go on and be like, talk to Alec Baldwin and be like, hey, your impression of me, ha 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 ha.
There was a good one. Who did Hillary? What's her face?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
She's gone on to stardom.
Yeah, I know. But she's got that face, and she doesn't seem like she can turn it off.
Christ, with that. They had a good banter back and forth where Hillary was a bartender. The actual Hillary Clinton was playing a bartender, and
that's when Hillary hosted
playing came in as a patron. Yeah.
Yeah, but that chick loved Hillary, so it wasn't like it was.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of adversarial bullshit going on there. It was like, I admire you. This is my caricature of you. Anywho, moving on. And finally, did you know 18th century French composer Jean-Philippe Rameau uttered his last words while a priest sang over his deathbed? His last words were, quote, "What the devil do you mean to sing to me, priest?" Rameau reportedly said. "You're out of tune." So a dick till the end.
You're out of tune. Ugh. He said that to a priest, yeah? Who was praying over his body.
Yes. It was singing some sort of... How dare you? How dare you pray me to the afterlife, you fucking peasant.
Tone deaf Philistine.
Just kidding. That's my death in C minor. Did you get it? D minor, actually. D major. But Alan, did you ever get to go into St. Joe's? Did you? I noticed this when I taught at that all boys Catholic school, where you would get a couple doing the monthly or whatever annual mass, and they have to do "In the Almighty Kingdom of Heaven," but you'd get ones that just weren't good at it. You get to "We're in the Almighty Kingdom of Heaven."
Yeah. It's like sing talking. They're not really talking, but they're not really singing either. Yeah, all the time.
My point is, 9 times out of 10, they can perform it. Every now and then you get one that has to fill in. He's like, it sounds like, I don't know, like Krusty the Clown meets in Mickey Mouse or something. And the Almighty God of heaven.
I assume when you become a priest, there's probably an elective for vocal lessons in between your fucking kitty diddling class and your fucking confession taking class. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's got to be some kind of vocal coach.
Yeah, this is that smacks your wrist with a ruler. You're not doing it. Ow! Ow!
Basically.
And that, my friends, is your Fun Fact Friday.
Well, folks, on tonight's Before You Go, we got a doozy for you, and that right there is a Ned Ryerson from Groundhog Day reference. You just did it in a doozy. What is Gooch grease? Well, that's the $1 billion question a lot of people have been asking themselves lately. Not Live Golf merging with the PGA Tour, not a smog around anywhere, not what's going to happen in this election or whether or not Donald Trump's running or whatever. It's what is Gooch grease? Well, folks, men have been investing in a maxi pad that is to absorb excessive Gooch grease. There's no story on this. There's just a Fox 26, I don't know where Fox 26 is out of, story where the anchors and a few other people around this table talk about Gooch grease and the maxi pad that's absorbing said moisture. Your thoughts on something that talcum powder has been solving this ailment for decades, if not centuries?
Well, according to most old UHF television, like talcum powder has a class action lawsuit out against it, so not really the thing that people are using anymore. So how do you absorb all that Gooch grease, which I believe is just a mixture of male excrement and sweat that is in the grundle area, and rather than ruin a nice pair of Tommy John's underwear or whatever the fuck they wear,
Tommy John's.
Yeah, go ahead and strap a maxi pad to the old seat cushion and give her a good go.
Yeah, it doesn't seem very comfy. You know?
Yeah, but sitting in Gooch grease all day doesn't sound very
Well, that's true too.
appetizing
But,
either.
I feel like you gotta I don't know, you gotta do something. Gold bond it. I guess that has talc in it too, huh?
Yeah, but I just feel like maybe change your diet. Like maybe if your Gooch has grease, it should be a sign that you should not be doing something with yourself.
Or it just generally sounds like, if you shower every day and you if you start getting sweaty down there, maybe take a ball towel with you. You know what I mean? You're not going to be out of the house for a while. Might be working up a good ball sweat, Gooch sweat, ass sweat. Take a little something. Go to a restroom, freshen your undercarriage up.
What if you're like one of those people that has particularly, excremental sweat glands in that particular area? People have them in their armpits, and there's people who do
super sweaty balls. Is what you're saying?
There's people who have their shins sweat excessively.
Sweaty ass balls. Is that what you're saying?
This could be sweaty ass balls. Can't change your drawers. In the middle, you should.
You should change your drawers if you got sweaty ass balls.
I still stand behind, like, you've got a bad diet if you've got something like that going on down there. So much so that you have to have a cosmetic product inserted into your fucking under region. Because the only time I ever felt like, okay, when I went on my cross-country adventure and I wasn't showering very regularly, that was the first time I ever experienced swamp ass. I was sitting in a seat, and it was hot, and I was driving, 700-800 miles a day. And I was like, what is that smell? And I finally wafted up from my crotch region. I was like, oh, God.
Yeah, you can smell your own balls. Oof.
Right.
You're in it.
But that's a unique situation and scenario. Like, if you're at the office and all of a sudden you can smell your crotch, that's a problem that maxi pads aren't going to solve.
You're just sitting down for a handful of hours a day. Yeah. If you sit down and then before lunch, if you're smelling your swamp ass, aka Gooch grease, and you need a maxi pad, it's time to hit up somebody. I was going to say the dermatologist, but I'd say just start at square one, start with your regular physician, and maybe there's a Gooch specialist.
I was going to suggest maybe Rob Dietrich.
Yeah, you're right. Look, what you need to do is, obviously the sweat's coming from anxiety, and the anxiety is caused by something that's going on in your life that you just don't have a handle on. Okay, you need to get a handle on things. Maybe grow a handlebar mustache. Maybe go to a place like the Handle Bar, your local dive. Have a few drinks. Assess things. And if you sit on that bar stool for 15 minutes and you got Gooch grease, go to your physician. He'll tell you what to do. See, right there.
That was Rob Dyrdek.
That was an excerpt from Rob Dyrdek's new podcast,
and
Life Coach.
And then immediately afterwards, he was like, "This next segment's called Eating Shit," and it's just people who fucking falling on cow patties and shit, slipping on dog poop in their yard and fucking rolling in it by accident.
And then Chanel's like,
yeah. And all of this is done in fucking baggy jeans and DC shaped skate shoes and a fucking big ass T-shirt.
Right.
Fucking got to get the aesthetic.
And the one that has the tongue that has the zipper, so you can stash a little weed in there.
Oh yeah,
right.
definitely.
You can put a little nickel bag in there before you're skating around.
By the way, we're about 22 days from marijuana being legal in the state of Maryland, and I've been seeing a lot more advertisements for all sorts of contraptions on the old Facebook.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they've got one that is a lighter and a bowl combo, and it actually flips out like a transformer to where, like, once you flip it out, the bowl portion of the lighter is right next to the flame. So all you have to do is click the flame and then inhale. It's pretty magical.
Science.
See, I want to make one where the mouthpiece is a preacher bending over, and then when you pull through, it goes, "Suck from the asshole of the Almighty."
Very good.
I like
Alan,
I would buy.
I'll get you a few. All right, tell all the Gooch greasers and fucking.
Gooch greasers.
This is something like a fun fact Friday. Like, did you know? In 1774 in Scotland, Gooch grease
Gooch grease.
meant.
Gooch grease was used to coat ropes, make them waterproof. It's just weird, something weird. You know what I mean?
Old Mediterranean pirates figured a way to make their ropes
Just
waterproof.
rubbed them through their taints.
I can see a guy in like the catcher's position, like
Yeah.
bundling rope, like just ripping it
a
up.
mixture of salt, sweat, and feces. Really sealed it up.
And the literal mid English translation is talcum damn near killed him.
Jesus. On
That's-
that note, folks.
That's why a bundle of rope is called a grundle.
On that note, folks, if you want to listen to more of this, you should check us out on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. And for your viewing pleasures, please check us out on all your favorite social media platforms. We're at MDL Classholes on Instagram and Twitter, and we're the Middle Classholes on Facebook and TikTok and YouTube. What do we got? Anything?
That's it. We have two comments, both coming from Facebook Reels. First is Martha Stewart is our puff pastry. My good friend, former boss and colleague Ivan George wrote in, Wes, they Photoshop all the cover models. That qualifier means nothing. All their images are doctored up. She is the canvas.
And I don't disagree with him, but I guess the point is that like nature doesn't doctor up the youngins. Like they're choosing the young canvas because it needs the least amount of doctoring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, hey man.
Martha Stewart, on the other hand, is not going to come as advertised.
I'll come as advertised.
Are you sure?
Maybe even sooner. Next, coming up on Kepka Celebration, Warren Powers writes in, "Why would you discuss a clip without showing the clip? LOL, lame." Warren Powers. What is he, like fucking Warren Beatty's nephew?
I guess we could have shown it, but
Well, no, we just came up with it while we were talking.
Yeah.
It just came
and
out
you
of
know what
nowhere.
the fuck we're talking about, goddammit.
And I also contend that the amount of time it took for him to bitch about us not fucking posting the clip is that he could have typed those same words into YouTube and seen the clip and then not bitched about it.
Why not do what I've seen on thousands of other videos, you know, like a Bill Burr or Joe Rogan or another podcast or something like that, and say like, "Hey, Joe Rogan sent me here." You know, like, "Hey, the Middle Classholes sent me here. They talked about this." You know, why not do that?
Could do that. Oh, guys, I forgot to tell you. We have I've mentioned to you before that this woman that I went to, well, she went to a sister high school of mine, and we've run into each other in the industry in work. She's a fucking massive fan of us. She listens to us on her way down to DC.
Mm-hmm.
Today she was like, "Can't wait to listen to you guys tomorrow." I ran into her at a networking event, and she was literally like going around singing our praises to like anyone who would fucking listen. So we got to get her like, I don't know, like a sticker or a fucking, I don't know, send her a business card and tell her to put it on somebody's fucking app or something. You know what I mean? I feel like we got to get her something because she fucking loves this and she messages me all the time and she's like, yes, you guys.
Hey, get us.
We have a super fan. Maybe we'll like we'll give her a fan experience or something. We'll like meet her, buy a beer, and then she'll pay.
We'll get really drunk at a bar and let you listen to us babble on for an hour and a half.
We'll do a live episode for you, which is you buying us drinks, and and then like we just talk about stuff, but in front of her.
Right. I think that would be a good fan experience. If you think we're funny on the podcast, wait till you get us in person. We have to take piss breaks and things like that.
Live action. You know what I mean? We can get up and dance around and stuff.
Yeah, and if they have a jukebox where you can select music, shoo-wee, you're in for a fucking treat.
Yeah, if there's a Touch Tunes with a plethora of Hall & Oates on it, watch us go to work.
In reality, get us your shirt size. We've been dying to get some swag out in the public. We'll get you a Middle Classholes t-shirt of sorts, black with a logo somewhere, to be determined. But you get us your size, we will give you a t-shirt. All fellas, an agreement?
Agreed.
I guess.
Fair enough. And you can say, I got this from the Middle Classholes.
Just like that.
Good night, everybody. Praise Jesus.
Just ask Miss Smith, give me a big old glass of beer. 'Cause I get drunk most every day. I always seem to find myself late. Might be on as fuck, I'm still riding like a pup. I fell down, but my dick's still up. Well, sometimes I may need a hand when I'm just too drunk to stand. I don't need your sympathy, keep your judgment too. 'Cause you just give it a little pull, and my dick's strong like bull, ready to satisfy my woman whole night through. I get drunk most every day. Everyone knows Scooter is a gay. Might be on his fuck, I'm still riding like a pup. I fell down, but my dick's still up. I fell down, but my dick's still up. I fell down, but my dick's still up.